그림 형제의 헨젤과 그레텔, 영어로 읽어드립니다. 화면의 단어를 눈으로 따라가 보세요.
A poor woodcutter lived beside a great forest. He had two children, Hansel and Gretel. Their stepmother lived in the house too. One year a famine came to the land. There was no bread left to eat. At night the woodcutter could not sleep. "What will become of us?" he asked. "We cannot feed the children," said his wife. "We must lead them deep into the wood. We will leave them there and come home." "No, I cannot do it," said the man. "Then we will all starve," she said. The children were too hungry to sleep. They heard every word through the thin wall. Gretel wept and could not stop. "Be quiet," whispered Hansel. "I have a plan." He waited until the house was still. Then he slipped out into the moonlight. The moon was full and very bright. White pebbles lay before the door. They shone like silver in the moonlight. Hansel filled his pockets with them. Then he went back to his bed. "Sleep well, Gretel," he said. At dawn the stepmother woke them. "Get up. We are going to the wood." She gave each child a small piece of bread. On the way Hansel walked slowly behind. He dropped white pebbles along the path. One by one they marked the way home. Deep in the wood their father lit a fire. "Rest here," he said. "We will come back." All day they heard an axe behind them, but it was only a dry branch in the wind. The children ate their bread and fell asleep. They woke in the dark, all alone. At last the moon rose above the trees. The pebbles shone like new silver coins. Hansel took his sister by the hand. They followed the little white stones. They walked all night through the wood. At dawn they came to their father's door. Their father was full of joy to see them. But soon the famine came again. Once more the stepmother spoke at night. The children must go into the wood. Hansel got up to gather pebbles again, but the door was locked fast. In the morning they went out again. Hansel had only a piece of bread. He broke it inside his pocket as they walked. Crumb by crumb, he dropped it on the ground. "This will show us the way," he thought. They went deeper than ever before. Again their parents left them beside a fire. The moon rose, and they searched for the crumbs. But every crumb was gone. The birds of the wood had eaten them all. "We will find the way," said Hansel bravely. But they wandered deeper into the trees. 3 days they wandered in the wood. They ate only berries from the ground. They grew weak and lay down to rest. Then a snow-white bird sang on a branch. Its song was sweeter than any they knew. They rose and followed where it flew. The bird led them to a little house. Its walls were made of sweet bread. The roof was made of cake. The windows were made of clear sugar. "Now we shall eat," cried Hansel. He broke a piece from the roof. Gretel took a piece of the window. Then a soft voice called from inside, "Nibble, nibble, little mouse. Who is nibbling at my house?" The children answered, "Only the wind." They went on eating without fear. Suddenly the door opened wide. A very old woman came out. She leaned upon a wooden stick. The children were afraid and dropped their food. "Dear children, come in," she said kindly. She gave them milk and pancakes and apples. But the old woman was a wicked witch. She had built the house to catch children. Her red eyes could not see far, but she could smell when people came near. That night she watched the children sleep. "These two will not escape me," she laughed. In the morning she seized Hansel. She carried him to a little stable. She shut him behind an iron door. Then she shook Gretel awake. Get up and cook for your brother. When he is fat, I will eat him. Every day the witch went to the stable. Hansel, hold out your finger, she said. But Hansel held out a thin bone. Her weak eyes could not tell the difference. Why are you still so thin? She cried. For weeks passed in this way. At last the witch lost her patience. Fat or thin, I will eat him tomorrow. Gretel wept as she carried the water. Stop crying, the old woman said. The water will not help you now. Early next morning, she lit the oven. Creep in and see if it is hot, she said. Gretel knew what the witch was planning. I do not know how, she answered. You silly goose, it is easy, cried the witch. She put her own head into the oven. Then Gretel gave her a hard push. Gretel shut the iron door fast. The wicked witch was gone forever. Gretel ran to the little stable. Hansel, we are free, she cried. He sprang out like a bird from a cage. They kissed each other and danced for joy. They went into the witch's house. In every corner stood chests of treasure. Pearls and jewels lay upon the floor. Hansel filled his pockets full. These are better than pebbles, he said. Gretel filled her little apron too. Soon they came to a wide water. There was no bridge and no boat. A white duck carried them across, one by one. Then they knew the wood and ran. Their father wept with joy to see them. The stepmother was dead, and their trouble was over.
구독과 좋아요 눌러주시고 영어 읽기 계속 연습해보세요.